Hello there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone, it's me, GenuineParts. Welcome to the 50th episode of If My Heart Had Wings. That's an incredible milestone for me. And we found out in the last episode that kind of my question was answered. Apparently the guys and girls stole the glider from the school. Maybe we get some exposition to how they accomplished that. Because that's like, that raises just more questions. So let's see how this all unfolds.
さあ、どうだろう。今更ながら良かったのかな。あんなことしちゃって。しょうがないじゃない。ああでもしなきゃ博物館行きだったんだから。そしたらもう二度と取り返せなかったかもしれないのよ。
I still don't know how.
あのグライダーは私たちがあまねちゃんから受け継いだものなのに。だよね。ねえ、どうなの?
As Yuri seems to find my attitude even more unusual, she becomes more determined to find out the truth. Back then, when the Soaring Club was shut down and the garage was forcefully taken away from us and demolished, the glider wasn't inside. It had been moved somewhere else. After that, the school had put it in a storeroom. We wanted to get it back quickly, but since there was no way we could fly it and we didn't have anywhere to put it, we kept quiet and let the school take care of it. Then, a few days ago, we heard from some surprising news from certain sources. The school was trying to have the glider donated to the city museum. This glider was made by the old members of the club, and an original aircraft like this is extremely rare in this country. Therefore it had a value, something to be collected by a museum. To the school it was seen as a waste of storage space, and they wanted to dispose of it. If it had gone to the museum, we would never have gotten it back. As an extreme measure, we decided to liberate it in secret. And that's why it is here now. How did you do that? How did you get it up there? Yes, that is correct. Like, look at the door. There's no way the glider fits through, even with the wings taken off. How did you get it up the stairs? How did you get it here in the first place? How did you get it out of storage? What? If I lied, I'd soon be found out. I admitted it honestly.
呆れた。こんなところに隠していたなんて。そのせいで私たちを寮に住まわせない気でいたの。
No, I heard you were coming tomorrow and I was planning on moving it somewhere before then.
どうだか。
Unfortunately, we were still in the middle of a huge typhoon. The only other place we might have been able to store a great big glider like this would be the entranceway. However, given the circumstances, we wouldn't want it to leave it anywhere so noticeable. Please, you have to keep this a secret. I put both hands together like I'm praying.
私たちが理事長の孫だってさっき話したわよね。どうして私たちがあんたたちのために祖父を裏切るような真似。ここがいい。
Huh?
姉さん
Asa seemed like she was full of determination as she made her statement.
私ここがいいの、夜ちゃん。聞いてなかったの、姉さん。ここにあるこれは学校から盗み出されたもので。それでもね、ここがいいの。ごめんなさい。
Asa backed her sister Yoru, who seemed to be both scolding her yet astonished at the same time.
あのね、姉さん。そもそもこんなのあったら寝る場所もないじゃない。大丈夫。こうやって。
Asa laid her petite body in the gap between the fuselage and the main wings that were leaning against the wall.
私は嫌よ。でも、今日はここに泊まっちゃわないと。
The whole building shook and rattled as it was battered by strong winds.
外は台風だよ。 かといってここが安全ともあまり思えないけど、なんだか不衛生そうだし。
If it ends like this, a secret will be found out. That our glider is here. It's not your glider, technically. So, as of today, the two of you are friends. Are our friends. Let's all get along together. Okay, let's have a round of applause as I forcibly encourage everyone to clap. Everyone looked at me at my twitching smile with a dubious look on their faces and gave a round of applause.
Aoi-kun, 顔が引きつってる。こりゃバレたわね。よろしくお願いします。ま、適当によろしくね。態度悪いいのゆかさん、あの子超態度悪いわよ。新人教育も兼ねてここはビシッと。
Katori makes a big deal out of it while everyone just replies with a hmm.
私らもう慣れてるし。慣れてるの？なんで？
Everyone gives her a sideways look as if to say, well.
ぶっちゃけ小鳥ちゃんはこの10倍くらい態度悪かったもんね。なに？ちゃんと自己紹介してよろしくねっていうだけマシだよね。
Katori looks to Agia and me like she's looking for backup. Ditto.
左に同じ。
She's surrounded on all sides by opposing opinions.
何よ、みんなして。私こんなに態度悪くなかったもん。でも部屋はどうするの？だってあの部屋。
Yuka mumbles unintelligibly. We received implicit agreement from the boarders that we could hide the glider in the dorm. They highly valued my achievement of getting the new fridge and understood our feelings as former members of the Soaring Club. So they turned a blind eye to the whole incident. That's why, supposedly, they've decided to pretend that they don't know it's there. We'll look for another place to store it as quickly as possible. Until then, you two can use my room. Everyone made a face as if to say, is that okay? I don't have many things so I can easily clear space, so you can sleep anywhere you like.
じゃあ、私の部屋に来ればいいよ。一緒に寝よう。ちょっとカナ、何バカなこと言ってんの？そんなことさせられるわけないでしょ？あら、どうして？
She has no decency.
それは、ハギャ、ほら、言ってやって。そこで私に振るのかよ。そりゃああれじゃないすか。葵がもし不祥事なんぞ起こしたら、寮母をやめなくちゃいけなくなっちゃうんで。そうそう、それよ。
Everyone says things like, yeah, that would be a problem for us. Which is why that proposal is rejected. I don't need to say things like proposal rejected, it's not like some business discussion. Asa spoke nervously.
私、グライダーがある部屋でも別に構わないですよ。
But there is nowhere to lay a Futen.
平気です。そのくらい覚悟の上ですから。
Everyone looks at her as if they're saying, what on earth is she talking about? Wait. That's right, her eyes lit up when she was looking at the glider just now. Does she have some sort of emotional attachment to it? For example, she might be some sort of airplane nerd. Nerd!
私は嫌よ。あんな狭苦しいところで寝たら窒息しちゃう。夜ちゃん。
Well, then she can't sleep in my room, and I guess Aoi takes the couch.
嫌だったら嫌。絶対に嫌。
Well, you can use my room, is that okay?
はい。
For some reason, she nodded reluctantly. So, that's that, everyone. It's just for a little while, so I appreciate your cooperation. This is my room.
お邪魔します。へえ。 ちゃん、男の人の部屋だよ。そうね。
The two of them look nervously around my room.
漫画がこんなにいっぱい。やっぱり男の人って漫画が好きなんですね。
Said Asa, impressed, but all of them were brought here by Agea, who had just left them here after reading them, so they're not mine.
お菓子の食べかすが落ちてる。
They're not mine either, it's because Agea and Kotori have been eating in here. Since the garage was demolished, my room has become our meeting place. That's why there are so many things in here that I have no recollection of. Sorry, I cleaned that up soon. I clear away the trash and put the unnecessary object out in the hallway. While I'm doing that, they just idly stand there waiting. There's two, they've been treating school like a place to leave all that stuff. Oh, they're treating my room like a place to leave all the stuff. What the heck? After coming and going several times, I see Asa holding the picture frame that was on the desk.
この写真。
I peek over the heads of the two sisters who have their faces huddled close together. It's pretty easy to do that, because even for girls they're pretty short. Oh, that photo. It was the glider and the runway overgrown with weeds. A blue sky stretching out in all directions. Shining white clouds bathed in the sunlight. And there's our group. It was taken on the day I came back from the last test flight with Romana. It was a commemorative photo. It's the glider who saw just now. That's what it looks like when it's all put together. Both of them, especially Asa, look enthusiastically at the photograph.
いつ撮影したものなんですか?
Around the end of last year's summer vacation, we flew the glider at dawn. Strange cloud called morning glory appeared, and that's what we were aiming for.
じゃあ、あの時飛んでたのって。でも失敗したんでしょ?
How do you know?
さあ、小鳥さんとアゲハさん、葵さんですよね。
She points to the faces in the photos one by one.
こちらの綺麗な方は?
The last person in the photo, she points to the girl with a carefree smile like a little kid. That's Amane Mochizuki, also known as the super repeat student. She's already graduated though.
あ、さっき小鳥さんが言ってた人ですね。
Yeah, that's her, the genius who's so smart she forgets she's hungry. I add as a laugh at how strange that is.
伝説の先輩。
Legendary? Well, maybe that's true. Maybe the students of Keifu Academy will continue to tell the story of Amane Mochizuki, the strange senpai, for a long time to come. Just like an urban legend. I narrow my eyes as I smile from the feelings of nostalgia as I look at the photo. The two of them look at me curiously from below. Something happened and the club lost its status, so originally we were the members of the Soaring Club. This photo is the last memorial picture of our club activities.
もう活動はしないんですか?
Well, we're still kind of continuing them. Now we've gone completely underground. We're not recognized by the school, we carry out our activities in secret so we don't get found out. Asa, are you interested in gliders?
いえ、私はそんな。
She turns bright red as she looks down.
姉さんは空を飛ぶものに興味があるの。昔からね。
I see, we're planning to fly again soon, so you can come watch if you want. Asa's big round eyes sparkled as she nodded happily. When the sun went down, the mother of all storms blew outside, so we couldn't go out there and do any repairs. All we could do now was pray that the old dorm would withstand it and wait for the typhoon to pass. Hey, that girl Asa seems to be interested in gliders. I was telling Agea, who was helping me make dinner, about the twins. Because it looks like she won't be able to go home tonight, it seems that Agea will be staying in Kotori's room. I asked her if she'd like to come and see us fly next time, and her eyes sparkled as she said okay. That's great, isn't it? No, it's not like that. Kotori, who had been quietly chopping the vegetables, joined the conversation. You idiot, what the hell do you mean? They are only 2 years younger than me, that's not a lolicon. Is it? What? Why? How? What? She says as she looks at Kotori from the side. Kotori doesn't notice her looking, as she mumbles things like, "That's so cute, isn't it?" while chopping up the cabbage. We couldn't go shopping that night, so we were making okonomiyaki from the food we had left over. Sorry. That's like beyond my capabilities. Anyway, can you guys take back all the manga and other stuff you left in my room? If you don't, I'm gonna throw it out. Wrong thing to say, apparently. Okay, if I have time. Forget about that, just chop the vegetables, will ya? The raging storm shook Flying Fish Manor.
ねえ、本当にここに住むつもりなの？だってグライダーがあったから？運命だよきっと。ヨルちゃんもそう思うでしょ？運命なんてナンセンスよ。姉さんって本当にロマンチストよね。じゃあいいもん。私のセンスがヨルちゃんに一生理解されなくたってそれでいいもん。ロマンチストな方が女の子っぽいし。はいはい、どうせ私は女の子っぽくないですよーだ。それにさ、なんだかいいなと思っちゃった。何が？空を目指してみんな幸せそうに笑ってたから。すごい風だね。寝てる間に建物がぺしゃんこに倒壊しちゃうかもね。
Oh man, she's a happy little girl, isn't she?
ヨルちゃん、一緒に寝よう。どうしよっかな。ヨルちゃん。
Accidental little wings which fly in the sky highly. That's not quite the time. So let's check what's happening next day. The next day, the typhoon had passed and the blue sky spread over Kasagura.
というわけなので、よろしくお願いします、会長。
Please consider it.
しまーす。
Standing behind Kotori, we bow our heads. This is a 4th year classroom. Yesterday we were ordered to go to the student council room, so we decided to take the initiative and go to Akari's classroom. We state the matter frankly. We are making an application for the revival of the Soaring Club. It was a negotiation to restore the Soaring Club, which lost its status last year.
その件はすでに却下されたはずですよ。ハバネ小鳥さん。それは前の生徒会の話でしょ。あなたなら違う考えをお持ちなんじゃないかって思ったんだけど。
The title of a leader of the Soaring Society isn't just decoration. For a year, Kotori had been negotiating with the student council for the revival of the Soaring Club. However, the previous student council president had said that I don't think the Tobieko-sensei would allow it. That was a typical example of someone who is afraid to rock the boat. The previous student council was dissolved, and in the elections held a few days ago, Akari was chosen as the new student council president. In her case, she might actually listen to what we have to say, so Kotori finally had grounds for negotiation. Akari was deep in thought as she stared at the application petition for the revival of the club. We watched over her with tense expressions. So if it isn't officially recognized as a club, there could be a few circumstances that could spell trouble for us. First, the issue of the ownership of the glider. The property of the Soaring Club, so if it becomes a club again, it should be officially recognized as being under our ownership. It was built using club funds, which is why it was taken away by the school along with the club's status. In actuality, over half the funds for the construction were paid by Amane herself. There was also the problem of the club funds. Currently we are facing serious shortages of funds. The parts and materials come from Egea and Kotori helping out at the entrance place, but the transport costs for Egea and I to go to the airfield and the cost of flight training is probably too high. Our intention is to use the funds to help cover these costs, even if only by a little. Another thing, the fact we can't use the school facilities. For the manufacturing of the parts, even if we want to use the school's equipment, they won't give us permission. Everyone just uses it freely, but with Tobieko keeping an eye on us, being found out could cause problems. Lastly, we don't have anywhere to conduct activities. As a result, we had to occupy the room used by the Kasato sisters. We can't continue to use the dormitory as a base of operations. Everyone was desperately pleading with her, but we need a fourth member. Glare. Akari stared at us with a scary expression on her face. Her voice dropped down a tone. That alone was enough to make us cower in fear. Even if we were totally busted, we have no choice but to play dumb. Akari is usually a fair person, but she wouldn't be that flexible. It was clear that if we had taken it away, she would definitely have to take action. A storeroom? How do we... Glider! It's a glider! The way she said it made it sound like she was implying, I know it was you. She's completely right, though. The thing with the glider was a huge miscalculation on our part. We knew that it would be a big disadvantage when it came to applying for the restoration by the club, but it couldn't be avoided. Knowing that this would happen, we came to her first to negotiate. Could it be some kind of geek, like an airplane geek? Maybe they really wanted it regardless of the circumstances. As I desperately try to give a suitable answer, Akari looks towards me. It wasn't, no way. I answer while choking on my words. My heart feels heavy as Akari's eyes full of righteousness shoot a gaze right through me. So, if the club gets reinstated, what are we going to do? Just saying, hey, we found a glider! Or sneak it back in, or what? Okay, anyway, this I think concludes our 50th episode. I thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Best regards from Parts. Bye bye!